Hey, I'm Big V and I Brick, and welcome to another edition of the weekly vlog slash uh, shame pile talk about Force Me To. Um, it's a little altercation earlier today. We were gonna actually be able to pop out 3 videos, 2 of which had to do with the free Lego we wanted to give you, but I had a pukey kid, so about 3 o'clock I had to go pick D up from school because he had just vomited, unfortunately. Um, He's okay. He's recovering upstairs. He'll be home with me tomorrow. And we've rescheduled the video for the 3rd drawing of the Parisian. So get your yellow smiley face tickets ready. We'll be drawing once again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the Parisian. If it doesn't go by the end of that month, by the end of this month, it will be up and be drawn again when we have the one for the new and upcoming modular raffle for the bank. So if it doesn't go through, like I said, we'll flip it and we'll do it once again the next time. Tonight's stream is brought to you by coffee. With Hershey's chocolate syrup. Because I sold kids' milk, I made them a little batch of a little organic milk thing because it tastes so much better. Hershey syrup. It was a surprise. Like, I didn't even tell them. I just made it in the container. There was like that much left in that thing. Shook it up. Put it in there. Another surprise. They get chocolate Cheerios in the breakfast in the morning or something. What's on, Ralph? What's up, Robbie? How you doing? So today's selection for the Shane pile, I just pulled it out. I'm very happy to say our Shane pile part outable stuff, that is going crazy strong. In fact, so I just picked up this other camera last week, a replacement for my old-fashioned Logitech. It's been so crappy to me through the years. Hopefully the sound is better. Hopefully the video is better. I know there at the end the sound just lost it for that camera, but got this little one right here. This is just a crappier one. Manual focus. I wanted to give that a whirl with all the problems that we've had over the years. And instead of being like a 90 degrees of viewing, it's 120. So it's a little bit more fisheye. Got it. To show some things off. Look at that. Starting off out of focus. Just the way I want you to. So I know. All right. Look at this. See, you guys get like remote view type stuff right now. This is what's actually going on in the shop. This is what we are doing. We've got paused. That right there is the new Shane pile. Can't put any more in there. Blank on top to seal it. Another one started over on the side there. I don't know if you can see that. Ugh. And then that's all the empty trays we have left. Right there. That thing, every space on those bottom 3 shelves was filled with sorting trays. They're all filled now. And plus the back way back yonder, in the way back are more sorting trays. So we have everything set and ready to go because we are official entering the Lego. It's summer, nobody's buying anything season. I have a gauge for myself. If I'm making X a day, I have 0 worries. Whatever it is above that, I'm happy. I'm good. It doesn't matter what the number is, really. whether it's spectacular or just jumping over it. We did it. You know, it's I don't congratulate the super high marks really, except for I tell my wife because that makes her feel confident in what she's allowed me to do. And I'm not saying that we're not making ends meet or anything like that. Do not ever read anything like that. This is just I try to present it as best as I can as far as explaining things. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not. And normally on a Monday, it's for sake of celebration. Um, it's like 2x what my bar is. Sometimes during the high buying period, sometimes it's 3.5 or higher. And this Monday, we nudged it. So that's how I know. But just it's over, and that's fine because we actually made it a lot further through the year than I thought. We would. I thought that the buying season, the buying rush, would end probably back in March, um, somewhere halfway through March when it really starts warming up. A lot of people start feeling it. I don't know what extends the longevity for that or anything like that. Happy that it did, but I've got my work ready for me. This is a pattern. You've probably seen this pattern before if you actually watch The Room and see stuff swell and subside. Looking for the word that went along with that. I didn't want to. I was going for an ebb and flow, and that means that a lot more stuff will be going in there. I did do a bum rush for a little while there on the drawers because people kept talking about them, and I was all self-conscious about it and all that. But I'll have stuff to do, and that means I'll be filling in all the blanks in the store, and I'll be able to take care of even more things. But my daughter has been down here with me in the mornings, and for one reason or another, there's no TV for 2 weeks, and she's been jobbing out and stuff like that with me, and just having fun, sitting next to me. Not really punishment for her, because she enjoys sorting, because it's just like 1, 2 couple pieces at a time, just sitting there until it's done. She's just a workhorse. She's not fast, but she's consistent. She's accurate. What you really want in a worker. Or a child to pay attention to things and have the cognitive ability to tell the difference between shapes and sizes and do it well, on the parenting side of things. But anyways, I've got a lot of backstock on things. I'm very happy about that. Gives me a chance to do things when they're out and about and playing and stuff like that, because it's no longer going to be cool for dad to be there all the time. The social stuff in school is starting, so I'll have more time here. But yeah, but we're doing the brown tan box. Brown tan box. We have finally hit the yum yums for the brick box. So, and the yum yums are the shades that just fits everybody. No matter who you are, you need this tone. You need this spectrum. That's why I always try to impart to people to worst first is the rule that I learned from Doc and that I stick with as well. Is worst first. Get the ones in there that are the hardest on you. It's all tiny little pieces that everybody's got a million of that make you go blind. Put those in the store first. Those are the worst part out. Get them done first. But I'm happy to say that we worked the greens, and that's definitely that was the start of the super yum yums right there. Tan browns, and then we'll hit black white, and then finish it out strong on gray. And then guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna loop right back in and do this past year's brick box, the one that we got 170 something of that a lot of other people didn't touch. I touched it hard. Don't say it, Ralph. Because somebody out there, it might have even been Brick Vibe, jokingly said, "But is he going to be able to get all the brick boxes done before the next brick boxes uh, hit the shelves?" And when I heard that, I was like, and then I thought to myself, well, I really should. I really should. I should take that as a personal challenge, in every possible good way, because it was intended in good ways. Brick Vibe's a good guy, and work on that, because I already know that's, even though we get the promise of the wife, we're not going after new sets except for brick boxes or creator colorful type things, um, because we've got the promise, which was, hey, I'm going to buy so much stock that I will be able to, we won't have to buy anything. I want to stay truer on that, which is the same reason why I'm going through the shame pile and everything else. I don't want to have all that backstop. I don't want to have that room that is dedicated to my sets, because I'd much rather have that room dedicated to parts. I don't anticipate becoming a set store. Um, as I look down the road on things, I don't see myself becoming that guy that has the sets to sell, especially since the in the past, the sets that I've procured, they've all been pretty much scratch and dent. Um, I feel absolutely terrible that I had gotten a friend of mine a set that he was looking for, and it was a scratch and dent, and it had one piece. And unfortunately, the one piece that it was like the front chest piece of a mech. Was, it looked like something ran over it, and it was not as usable as originally intended. Um, because that's the types of sets that I get, and every once in a while I run around one of those, and it couldn't have happened to the worst person, because he's the best person. Um, but I got that one solved, because I found a store that had that set, so I went and bought it so I could get the chest piece out of it, so I could get that too. But let's see what else. Store wise, there's a lot of stuff going in store. When I get time, it's going in. I've finally gotten uplifted, opened. I'm not sure what I want to start using the Amazon terms for when they allow people to start selling certain items. Um, ungated. I was just ungated on on bulk CMF elements. So not just heads now. I'm not able to just get bags of heads, CMF heads by weight. I'm also able to get body parts, which means hair. Lots of hair. My favorite hair, at a bulk rate, and that's driving the next factor in the future progression for what will be Big B bricks. I've seen a little bit lately, because we're in the stages, not the final stages, the first stages of taking that step forward to being quote unquote real. I've always joked through the years that it's not real yet, because this hasn't happened, because this hasn't happened. I'm tearing down the walls of because this hasn't happened and accomplishing them. It feels good, and it's also quite ostentatious to take all of these things on, never having experienced it personally before. I've never been a small business owner. I've always been the man. I've sold, books that I've no longer reading and need to own, on eBay and stuff like that. But on the selling side, Bricklink had always been the first. This is my virgin journey into being a salesman. Never had any experience. Well, I sold shoes when I was 16. Um, for like a couple month period at a like Marshalls or something before I got my slot in at Wegmans after I had worked for the Dodgers. But yeah, I worked for the Dodgers once. That was pretty cool. Anyways, and looking back in retrospect, I'm pretty sure that I got that job because I put down age 16, and for some reason I filled out like the back of the old applications that used to have like body statistic stuff that you could write in there. Seriously. And I filled it out myself. I put in like 6'5", blonde, blue eyes, and didn't think about it. Didn't think about who might be reading that. And I was able to get a job on a middle to older age, all female team working at the mall, and it was. I got to sell men's shoes, and I got to put shoes on really old ladies' feet, and it was a terrible job. And I'm glad I had that life experience. But I would recommend it not for you. Anyways, this is my first venture into being a salesperson, and it's weird. Not because I hate salespeople, but I hate pushy salespeople. Because I want to do commercials. How am I going to do commercials? I don't know how to edit anymore. I don't know how to video anymore. I don't really know how to do photography anymore. I left that skill set completely behind, even though I was formerly educated in that, because when I decided to take the path from make the final decision from art and engineering to just engineering, I just took the bag of skills and was just like, I'm never going to use you again. I'm now going to be doing blah blah. Engineer. I never kept the other side because I knew I was never going to get into architecture again or anything like that, so I left it out there. And now I need that skill set back. If I knew how to edit videos again, it would be great. But we got 3 packages from the shame pile, the deep shame pile, not small ones, sorted this week. 3 extra, I should say. The girl just went absolutely crazy on me, and it was in a really good way. I might show you guys those as well. I might as well, right? I should show you guys those. But we did pick a new one as well. I thought it would be good to, while she was down here and had to be down here, I thought it would be good to do that. All right, I've already gotten one of them done. I've got 2 of them to show you here rather quickly. All right. So this was, I don't even remember, but it was 194 lots with 5,000 items. And if we look at the number side of it, we lost so big. Oh, this was dad with 3 kids, or dads with kids, or something like that store name. Yeah, it was the time when I was really going for supporting other individuals and not big teams of people working. I always sort of went after people who were like me, just a one-person team doing it for themselves and their families, and I've always tried to, if possible, patronize them, because you support your own. Not that there's anything wrong with having employees or having them do the stuff. It's just you're at another level, and I want to help everybody get there, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, these came out, and a lot of the stuff in this set actually is from Batman set. This was purchased when the Batman set rolled out, so you are going to see a lot of that sweet, sweet, beautiful dark tan that was also featured in that set. Those have already been deemed to be for me. We'll go with, but these are all so not that bad. But like I said, these are the loss items. Not that bad at all overall. But that's what happens when you try to chase the element game. And these are all existing items and existing lots that'll be going into the store. These are new ones. This is because in that bag as well, there was there's 30 Stormies and 30 of the Empire or First Order crew members type thing. So I missed that boat big time too with this. Oh well, but these all have a high number to them over here solely because they were 0 when they started out. These were parts of figs that I had to rip and strip because I was already underwater by over $1 on each of the figs. Very happy to see a lot of new elements going into the store. More of these dark blue ones. I like that. It's a good color. Lots of DBG going in. Ooh, look at all that beautiful dark tan. There's another order that I thought I was thinking of. Must be. Otherwise, I'm just talking smack. Always happy to be putting any flesh tone head into the store. Last time I checked, which was months ago, I surprised myself that I had over 600 individual lots of different faces on minifig heads. I've always tried to go after the yellow ones and just picked up the flesh tone ones whenever's. Traditionally, the flesh tone ones would come on named characters or an army uppable goon squad from superheroes or Star Wars. I had one dark red lot out of that whole thing, but all of the other sweet pieces. I did well on that. Lots of tile coming into the store. Like a ridiculous amount of tile. Look at that. 394 2x4 DBG tiles. This was definitely a later in this was definitely a later life order that was just stuck there. Probably because of the 5,000 elements that were in it. It was going to be a pain. Zombie Businessman did not have that element. Alright, well that's not as it's listed on BL. I bet you somebody added that craziness to it, or whatever's. But like I said, this one is actually already all parted out in trays, ready to go. First order galore. And then we move on. Alright, first one done. This one I went cray-cray on those. This is the element that goes on the top of the Ninjago sets where they have the little turbine that spins props. This is also in the elements that have the most loss are the ones that I can tell the age of the order with, because they've had the most price fluctuation. We'll be having a lot of those going in. We'll take it by color. It doesn't really matter how I did on that. I love that element. I have absolutely no need for that element anymore. I have so many of those printed. Oops. This order was full of Simpsons Series 1 pieces. So you're going to see a lot of Simpsons elements in here, because I've already done the full rip and strip on the elements and put the figs back into the store. To go through, and all of the short skirts, a lot of them are listed on the part out as being unknown, and I went through and did the measure on them and made sure that they were set to the correct length when I was putting them into the store, so that they would correct the lot going in, and also most likely offer me a second lot in the same bag for this element with the correct count. Having lots of swim shorts going into the store, or not swim shorts, bikini shorts, or bikinis going into the store for summer. So this actually worked out really well. This is the first time that I'm not completely stripping down this torso for the arms and that one, because the upper bright pink arms have become so saturated on the market that it's no longer a viable option. And the Simpsons torsos and all Simpsons elements are started on the strong rise. Same goes with this torso. This is the first time really I'm not stripping this one down. Lots of beautiful grays. This is one from a store that used to take 8 to 12 weeks shipped to me. And I'd get that crazy, wonderful coupon for. So it was a good deal. Even though this is a onesie twosies, it was a good deal. This is 246 lots on a 1,791 elements remaining in this order. But these ones have always been very colorful and very eclectic. And even though this store is always, or historically was, teetering all the time on the back and forth in between opening and closing because they were so late on all of their orders and so far behind, I constantly would go back to them because of the coupon and because of the reason why they were always teetering and late. You know, you always want to try to help people out. And these people always had on the front of their thing that they were in and out of the hospital and they were very sick. She and her husband were going through a lot of medical issues. She and her husband, she and her child, were going through a lot of medical issues. I love this. This is probably my favorite fig element right there. Hidden in groundskeeper Willie. One tree piece. You know, this one came in damaged. Oh well. This is for me, a cool little one that I wish I'd gotten more of, and I'll just sit on. Because someday somebody will be building a Ferrari and want one of those. I went a little bit too wild on these tiles. I really went wild on them. It's just, I get the onesie twosies out of them. Anything you see here with a price differential was thrown in with the freebie parts that they offer. So they do throw a lot of freebies in and stuff like that. I only parted out 3 Simpsons figs out of all of them this time around. The reason why? Torso plane. Boom. Crazy. Plus, I've been considering keeping these for myself, and if I were to do Sig Fig 2.0, I wanted to have orange upper arms. I don't know if there's anybody even there anymore, but finally, we're getting to this week's. Right there. Woohoo! 142, 2430. We got the box right here from Spanky's Bricks. Paperwork and stuff. And I'm a little bit nervous with this because this was purchased when I was just in the let's call it the later stages of you know that someone's got a store that's not really organized well when they have a lot of parts listed in their stores with absolutely no color associated with them. It's just plate 1x12, no color. And it's probably because the person is new putting the stuff into their store, and the default no color item on Bricklink, it looks like it's white. So the person will be like, yeah, I got a white one. Click. And it's actually a color not applicable, not a color white. And for the most part, it's always been assigned to just stay away. So here we go. And with that, here we go. Okay. Cap, no color. Headgear, no color. Wedge plate, no color. Technical plate, no color. This is a set. That set that you saw before. No color. No color. No color. Make some of these pop. But let's hold on. This will fix it. Yep, didn't. Anyways, price differential didn't really go up all that much. Whatever this is going to be, I took a huge loss on it. Oh well. This also had one in it that I had to go find. I wish I had filmed that part, but this bird popped up when I was importing it as being bad. Some decent stuff, like small amounts of it. Be interesting putting this away, but at least it's 142 lots, 2,400 pieces. Not going to fill drawers, but it'll add to them. And I don't know why I got. At one point, I was trying to put a bunch of these black cats here. It's around the same time maybe that I would had found Dr. Lucky's heads, and I was picking them up for him, and he had said if you could ever find the black cult, and I was onesie twosie in those things for the orders. Always good to get actually gray studs in the store. These would have been a great score way back yonder. Now I've got a source. Lots of light gray. For some reason, a lot of wedge plates. Maybe I believed in them back then. That one's going to be... there's no way I got light gray. These are going to be like bluish gray. That parrot actually... This one right here. Hold on, I know it's not. This one right here actually is not red. This bird is green. I'm tree building at the time. No idea why. Picking up studs. That was... You can tell this is a 2014 order, by the way. 2014. Why? Why? Why would I have purchased that? Anyways, that's what we have. This is definitely nothing on the seller. It seems to be pretty well packaged. You know, maybe even everything is individually bagged. So that'll give me a ton of bags. They're empty. In fact, more bags than we want. I've been saving the bags now, so I'm just tossing them in there because my daughter's working with me. And she said some things very adamantly, and the best way to vigorously was that as well. Intensely said to me, talked to me and sat me down to talk to me about something that she thought I had never heard of before, which was Earth Day. She was very concerned about, very alerted, the number of bags that Daddy may have been throwing away, and what we should do about that, and what Daddy should do about that, and what Daddy was doing wrong. And this is a 6-year-old, so keep teaching them, teachers. Keep teaching them. Thank you. Anyways, another video about that later on. There'll be some changes to the store as far as policies. And I'm told from my daughter, it's basically going to be whether you like it or not. And you'll hear that from her. That's her words. Her words, not mine. Alrighty. I've got 5 hauls, but I still want to film. I might just say and do a 5 for Friday. Just make one video and do all of them in one and just get it over with. I guess it would be better for store advertising, etc., to split them up and chop it into chunks, either 2 and 3 or 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. But I'll figure it. We did get the 14 cases of Lego into the store last week that I picked up from Bot in the parking lot deals. That ended up being 45,000 pieces to put into the store. I've got 3,000 CMF elements to put in the store. Besides, once I get the bulk in, got about 1,500 light blue window elements to get in there, and I just got in the mail today a haul from the one and only London Bricks. So London sent out to me, reached out to me. Every time he does this, I appreciate it. That is it. Yes, sir. London Bricks, great signage, by the way. Great packaging. But there is 10 each of the old Hammy's Beefeater. I don't know if there's is it not PC? I don't know if it's PC to call them Beefeaters or not. I don't know the origin for the word. The hat that they wear on here, my father always said, "Oh yeah, that's a Beefeater hat," and I know that he's the guy on the Gordon's gin bottle. I can tell you right now. Hammy's is a toy store. I don't know if Beefeater is politically correct or incorrect. If it's politically incorrect, I apologize. It's not my country's word. I don't know not to use it. So, I mean, 10 Hammies. We already had some. I wanted to put a bunch in the stove. So, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. London. Next week, we will have a seller stream at 8 p.m. I am in the initial talking stages with Bricklink once again. Hopefully, we'll be able to get her on, talk about all the changes that are happening with the seller tools, and then maybe if I'm satisfied and you're satisfied with their explanation of all the changes, I'll sign up online and I'll make the change online because I have the banner still on the top of all of my mobile devices that'll remind me you haven't done what you're supposed to do yet. So I may just do that. I may get that completed. I was very happy to see that they extended themselves and kept it going. Let's see. Get a bunch of the factory unprinted and factory non-standard coloration mold elements from Star Wars thrown in. They were added to the Bricklink catalog this week. It was good to see the speed on that. I was actually really impressed, and I noted that only or on Revenge of the Sith they added only Star Wars parts. Revenge of the Sith. Anyways, I'm going to close out the personal portion of this with just an ongoing message and thanks to everybody in the community over the years for all of their support with the Lego Community Saturday stream. I did retire that this weekend. I was very happy to be able to close it on a very high point. as far as a great show. Unfortunately, I did miss it because of family obligations and promises. So, kind of sucks that after 3.5+ years of trying to get Bricks for Chris, who was the first person who really came on the show and supported me a lot, and knowing that I could do it, I missed his premiere show, but the Saturday stream wasn't what it had been originally intended for when I devised it. It was no longer a reaching out show. It was a hangout with friends show. That's all. And it was a great hangout with friends show. But everybody's got a hangout with friends show now. I wanted the experience of what was the LEGO Community Saturday stream with its outreach to remain pure and true. That it was an outreach program that we as the community, even though it might have just been people in the room, not even knowing that I was doing these type of things, but a lot of people did, a lot of people didn't. But I was pushing psychologically. I was trying to push everyone to reach out in your own circle, your own grasp, and draw other people in that you knew, to bring other people together by always having the community advertise it, always having community driven this, community driven that. But it really wasn't like that type of show anymore. The not necessarily the show itself or the intent of the show itself, but the what was going on in the show was no longer doing that. Instead of being an outreach show where we brought in new people and found new people, it was the same people each week, pretty much over and over for, depending upon the host, for quite some time. And I've heard from people, like, he used to do a show on Friday, then he did the exact same show again on Saturday, and it was under another name, or it was always the same one person or no people or whatever. It was always the same people. Oh, not no people. It was always the same room full of people. Might have been one person. It wasn't a regular, but I already knew him. It was never anybody new. It was never anybody that expanded me. And that's what was the purpose of the LEGO Community Saturday stream, because it was no longer a community. It was a community, but it wasn't the community. It was a small segment. It was a very smallish, cliquish record. Not cliquish in a really bad way, but it was a click. It is a click. It was always on there, and it's a great click. I'm proud to be a part, have been a part of the click. But it's a click, and it's not the community, so it shouldn't be the community show. It's a friends of show, and it was. I felt really good actually to see, and hopefully Bricks for Chris did this because he understood what I was saying during the stream. He started a Friends of Bricks for Chris stream afterwards, because that's what the Hangouts had morphed into, had evolved into. It no longer was a traveling let's find folks show. It was a let me hang out with my buddies show. And although Let Me Hang Out with My Buddies show are great and they're fun and they do attract people to the community, it wasn't the outreach program. It was a show that had people in the room doing different stuff, and I would always try to push the panelists to entertain the audience, because I truly believe that we're not in a setting of, it's not just us hanging out with each other. If it was just us hanging out with each other, we would never hit the live button. The moment you hit the live button, you're no longer, in my mindset, and also as like the manager of it, you're no longer in that mindset of I'm here to entertain myself. I'm no longer here to entertain the people in the room. I'm here, for the most part, to entertain the viewer, the people that have tuned into view. Not because of views, even slightly because of views, or anything to do with subscribers or anything like that. It's just now it's a larger audience, and for me that was so it's just that is in me, and that's what YouTube is. YouTube is there to for you to express yourself to an audience, and for your group to express themselves to an audience. Not really for you just to sit there and not have an audience-driven show. Not that they're not, but it's just with the audience there, it's an outreach, and it pushes it further. Anyways, I apologize through the years for pushing the audience or for pushing the panelists to perform. I never thought of you and saw you as trained monkeys or anything like that. I've always thought that if you're going to be sitting in a room with a bunch of people and they're having conversations for the sake of entertaining an audience, that you should at least be speaking while you're in the room and participating in the adventure, the experience. I'm also very sorry if through the years I have tried to tell people what to do. And it's not meant to tell people what to do. I see a potential. I see a kinetic. And I lack the filter to not identify that, especially when it's something of an emotional connection with the recipient. It was a great run, and it was a wonderful time. I appreciate it. It'll be back when we have those community outreach type of things where we really try to bring, where everyone comes together, where it's not just the friends sitting in a room chatting, where it's a community. And the community is incredibly segmented right now. It really is. If you're the type of person that tries or has outreach to a lot of different circles, unlike your own, you've seen that through the years. So there's hope. But thank you, brother, from another brick. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it. I also appreciate all the people that have written me in the past few days and expressed to me that they're very non-vocal ways that just, I did the right thing. And I appreciate them saying that. It means the world to have somebody say, yeah, you were right. It sucks that you had to do it, but somebody had to do it because it had needed to be done for a long time. I appreciate that. It was very difficult, and it was a rough decision. But like I said, I wanted to end on a very high note. It really stinks because I know there's a lot of people whose not necessarily identity, but upbringing was based upon Saturday Stream, and I think that some of those people are so much bigger and stronger than that. They don't need to be the so-and-so of the Lego Community Saturday Stream. Just be the person. It'll be good for me too. So, anyways, I didn't want to close on a sad note, but I did want to close on the most important part of really sucks. But it came down to where that wasn't been able to kept up. But as Bricksmith told me, Philly, I should have never given it up. I should have never given it to anybody else, and always kept running it. So. Sorry. Lungs are clearing. It's been 2 weeks since my last cigarette. I'm finally quit. Those that didn't know that I was a smoker. I always tried to hide it. Now I'm done. I'm very happy, and my lungs are cleaning their way. Thank you guys again. I'd never be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys. I'm trying to close out quickly. I'm not trying to say something quickly. I just looked at the clock and it's 9:59. I've been doing this for 57 minutes, and I did not know that. This is just meant to be a quick. This is what's going on this week type of vlog. So again, always sorry. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, and the support that you guys give me in both all aspects of life is great. So we had to reschedule the third drawing for the Parisian because of Pukey Kiditis. Pukey Kid may or may not be featured in tomorrow's video. But the little lady will be. She's really enjoying doing the videos with me and asking for it, asking me when we're going to be doing a video next. And that's why I'm doing them a lot more now, or hoping to do a lot more now, because she wants to do them. Do not be surprised if we finalize the Ninjago CMF series blind opening number 7, and however many more we have to do after that until we get a complete set with her taking over. Because I'm probably going to have to do those a little bit more frequently because we're 2 series behind. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining. Sorry I ran long at the jaw. A lot of shame handled this past week. Just digging for boxes and hanging out with the girl, and she was having fun, so I let her keep going. Workhorse mom. All right. Thanks for joining. That's it. That's all.